What's up, guys? I'm Max, and I'm here with Genius.
Hey everyone, it's Sammy Wilk, and I'm in conversation with Max.
Sammy, give it to me, baby. Go for it,
man.
How did you get into music, man?
My sister's boyfriend, when I was in 5th grade, was in a reggae band. He kind of took me under his wing and taught me guitar and brought me to all the reggae concerts that came through Omaha. And then come junior year of high school, I just had an opportunity to get in the studio and record music, and it started catching on a little bit. It gave me a platform big enough for me to not go to college, and kind of just started it up and kept grinding and meeting new producers and writing more. How old were you when you started making the music?
I grew up in Hell's Kitchen, where I am right now, and music surrounds you all the time, and so I just started writing music at an early age and seeing a lot of musical theater. So it was very influenced by big theatrical, dramatic moments and shows, and always just wanted to do my own music. And then finally, at a certain point, just kind of did that only, and I've been doing it for a while now, just music, and it's the best, man. What was it like moving from Omaha to LA?
I mean, it was just very interesting, a lot of good things, a lot of fun things, a lot of learning experiences. Just graduating high school, I didn't know how to be on time, and I was just so new to it.
Yeah, from New York to LA, it was I mean, it's still big cities. You know, you find your great people, and you shut out the rest that's a little more negative, and you try to find the positive.
1000%. When I was first making the music, I wasn't really thinking about the industry itself, or if it was gonna be my job forever. I kind of fell into the partying too much, kind of just the nightlife, whatever. I know I made my mom nervous, very nervous, but I think that kind of helped, make me who I am now. I really need to lock it up and figure it out a little better, and not just throw my life out the window. So for me, that was kind of my crutch for that. Kind of my vice for a while was just partying too hard. And I like to say I matured a little bit and learned my lesson, and I think I'm headed down the right direction now, which is good. So what are some big moments that you've had in music and in your music career?
One of the first real ones was I got to go on tour with Fall Out Boy and Wiz Khalifa and Lil Uzi Vert, and that was the tour I met my wife, which was crazy. And wow. I remember we played the Hollywood Bowl, and hearing people sing the music back, and in that venue, it was definitely one of those moments of a pinch myself. Oh, we're doing this. I gotta keep doing this. This can't be the end of this. That's gonna be the start of this.
It's actually funny. I played the Hollywood Bowl with Kamani Marley, who's one of Bob Marley's sons, and it was on my album. And the day before he had a show at the Hollywood Bowl, he hit me up, and he's like, "Yo, I got the show at the Hollywood Bowl tomorrow, and I really want to perform our song." And I was like, "What? What do you mean?" That was probably my moment of this is the best life I could ever want. I got to continue this wholeheartedly and push through, and that was just a massive moment for me.
I love that that's our same thing. That's so sick.
I know.
So
right when you said it, I was like, dude, that's
some of those places. I mean, those venues are iconic for a reason.
What are some collaborations that you're excited about, and how do collaborations really inspire you?
I feel like people bring out something in a song that you would never find yourself when they add their story to it. Like recently with Ali Gaddy, it was so sick for him to add his story to Butterflies, because that song was the sequel to my song Lights Down Low, and I just had a baby with my wife, and it's sort of the love song to tell her I'm gonna keep feeling that way forever. And so for him to add that very personal story to my own personal story, it's it's the most vulnerable you can be with somebody. I never even met him, and we made this song together, so when we met in person, it was we've known each other forever. I love collaborating. It's like a million mini bands.
That's weird. I love that. So do you have any advice on how to stay consistent with music?
Totally. I feel like the only way that I've ever felt like the writing is always successful when you're trying to be consistent is not being afraid of what you're feeling in that moment, I wrote a song on the next album with my baby in my arms. When else am I gonna do that, I guess, And even though I wanna make some party bangers and do more stuff for Lollapalooza, that song is important too. So I feel like the not being afraid of what you're feeling in that moment, what you're writing about, because it's definitely important and something you may never feel again. So just being in that is important.
Being present. Yeah.
It doesn't matter how great the last album or the last single, any of that was. This one has to be as if that never happened. It has to be that absolutely. Every time. You got to treat it like you haven't had any success.
Yeah, it's super well said. I can double up on that. I'm trying to do some more genre bending things and bringing other things in. And with that, like, you'll come up with some weirder stuff. You start getting more opinions in your ears, so you like start second guessing yourself. You know, it's hard to trust your gut at that point. Like, I'm trying to get to a point where I'm like very decisive with my moves, and if my intuition's telling me this, just follow it and don't keep second guessing things.
I feel like we always battle it. It's not like you just get over it, but you just get more confidence each time.
Yeah, I want to just keep making positive music and be in a, you know, positive headspace, and hopefully I have a family. That would be incredible, and hopefully be at MSG and Hollywood Bowl and, you know, perform in the big stages. As a new parent, how has your outlook on, you know, being safe and making smart decisions changed?
Becoming a new dad changes everything. I definitely consider people even more closely now, and I just want the best for them. And I think in that same way, you want to protect people. It's more about that than how maybe I'm feeling in a moment or what I need to get loose, to get crazy. I definitely try to make those decisions a little more informed than I used to. How do you feel like you balance staying safe and making the right decisions and also getting to, you know, live your life and keep your lifestyle?
You know, as you grow up, you mature and you become more aware of like the decisions you make. And when you're a kid, you don't really think certain things you do have consequences. I mean, for example, I lost one of my best friends like when I was a junior in high school from drunk driving. So I found out about how serious it is and how quick it can change somebody's life, change a family's life. And so I've never messed around with the drunk driving, and there's so many different ways you can get home. You know, you got buddies or there's different ride sharing apps or whatever. It's just, there's no excuse. Just kind of growing older and becoming aware of your actions and that your actions have consequences. That's kind of what I did, and you can still have fun and celebrate the wins, and at the same time you can get home safe.
That's a good quote right there. Celebrate the wins, but get home safe.
Yeah, baby. And then Max, how do you deal with peer pressure?
As an artist, you are constantly battling people's opinions of you, and accepting people maybe hating or loving you for who you are is tough, but getting to a point where you see someone who doesn't like you, it's like, you don't have to make them like you if they don't like you for you. It really is true. Why am I focusing on you when this person does like me? So in the same way, if I'm at a party and someone's like trying to pressure me into doing stuff that I don't want to do, if they don't like me unless I do that stuff, then why do I even want them in my world? Why do I want them in my circle? And in the same way, if they get in the car and they're trying to go somewhere and you want to feel cool because you don't want to be the one to be like, this is not safe or cool, I don't want to be hanging out with those people usually. Or if there's somebody that's a really good friend and they're making the mistake, then that's what friends are for, to say, this is a mistake. You really shouldn't drive. Just stay here overnight. And that's the truest love, when you are looking out for that person and say, I don't think you're good to drive, and I think that you should just, you know, stay here or I'll drive you home. You know, it's an awkward conversation, but I feel like it's a lot deeper of a friendship or a love to say that to someone and not be afraid to say that, and you'll not regret that. I think you could regret the other thing very easily, but you won't regret saying, maybe just stay safe tonight and I'll drive you, or we'll figure it out.
Absolutely. It's not cool to, you know, drive home drunk and you're getting in the car with a drunk driver. And people gotta understand that. You gotta just, you know, focus on getting home safe, think about your family, think about your friends, and just be the bigger man and make the smart decision. I've
been in this position where it's like you're one in the 5 people that are gonna get in that car, and you don't wanna be the one to make it awkward and weird and say everybody, but like, I think about my daughter, and I only hope that she has the confidence and the strength to be able to make that decision on her own and just say, like, I'm not gonna get in this car and you guys shouldn't either, and let's do something different. It takes that person. You gotta be brave to be it, but it's not easy, for sure.
Absolutely.
Great hanging, brother. Nice to meet you again.
My God, nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Yes, sir.